Happy podcast day, Falcon Paladin.
Yes, quite indeed. It is yet another podcast day, isn't it?
Yep, sure, that's one way to put it. Yet another.
Indeed, it is.
I said happy podcast day, but usually, yeah, it's another one. Good
It
to see you coming
is.
in with high energy.
Yeah.
Willingness to be here beyond the contractual obligation. Yep.
And yes, indeed, it is important to come with more than just the requirements of the contract that I signed 10 years ago. So, yes, indeed.
It's been 10 years already? I don't think so. Getting close.
No.
Getting close.
Fair
But
enough.
speaking of years ago, I got a call from a postman today being like, yeah, I just, tried ringing the, address on this parcel that's for you. And I'm like, oh, and they're like, yeah, they've never heard of you. I'm like, oh, where are you? And he's like, oh, an apartment you lived at 4 years ago.
Wow. Information's a tiny bit out of date.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I could have sworn I changed the address before I bought a new mouse because this current mouse is getting a bit old. And I was like, I could have sworn I updated the address. It must have just been the billing address, not the shipping address. That's my bad. And he's like, okay, well, go talk to Australia Post customer service. They might be able to redirect it for you. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go to the website that I bought this mouse off. And it wasn't the billing address that I updated. I had updated my shipping address in my address book. I just hadn't changed it from whatever was set to the default, which was I hadn't used the website in
Oh.
4 years. So it's like, great, you've got the address, the proper one in your address book. We're not sending anything there. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, that was easy enough, I suppose.
Yeah. Dear phone, why are you playing music? Yeah, so
That's what that was.
that's what
Noted.
that was, yeah.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start? We had lots to do.
We do. We have a lot to get through today. I just want to say that yesterday I went to a Jazz Lakers game. My brother got box seat tickets from work, and he's like, "You want to come?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." And so it was sponsored by like a regional bank that wants his company to change over to them instead of the one that they're at. And so it's like their corporate box, and like they're just trying to like schmooze my brother into like helping to change it over, right?
Right.
And why I'm telling the story is because one of the people was from Sydney, and
Oh.
he chatted up my brother a lot, talked about different work experiences and life experience and stuff. And he started talking, and I'm like, I think that's an Australian accent. I feel like I should recognize that at this point, and it was. So I was, yeah. So nice guy, small world.
Very funny, given that if you recall the lore of the show, I've been told my accent is no longer Australian.
Right.
Given how much I talk to you and your ilk.
Those Americans causing problems for everyone. Their stupid accent.
Yeah. So
Totally. Get that.
water.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
he was a cool guy.
Cool. How was the
Alright.
game?
Great game. I was expecting the Jazz to kind of get soundly smacked around, but they lost by 2, and I was like,
Oh.
okay, good enough. LeBron James was on the Lakers. Luka Doncic, who's won a couple MVPs, was there, and it was just like Jazz kind of hung tough and played some good defense and hit some shots, and they were down 10 with like 2 minutes to go, and they came back and tied it up, and I was like, hot dang.
Nice.
Good job, guys. And they're not going to make the playoffs, but sometimes they show they have some potential. They have some ability to do stuff like this, and it was nice.
That's funny.
Yeah. There's like shrimp and steak, and
Ooh.
there's free booze I didn't drink, but they had unlimited Coke Zero.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And ice cream and this interesting green chili mac and cheese dish that I've
Interesting.
never considered putting green chili sauce into mac and cheese, but it was good. I was like, this has opened my eyes to something new. That was nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they had ice cream and If you just wanted like a hot dog, they just had hot dogs there too. It's like you're at a basketball game, you're at a sporting event, just have like standard food if you want. So yeah.
I always judge which bank I should go to by the level of spread they put on. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I should ask him. I should talk to my brother and see how that went.
Did it ask him if the free Coke Zero moved the needle or not?
Yeah, I should try to. I'd be like, hey man, you really should do this. Coke Zero is great.
Speaking of food in Utah, I want to read you a headline I read this morning.
Okay.
Officials say, don't brine your turkey in Great Salt Lake.
Gross. Deal.
Apparently, a full turkey washed up, Silver Sands Beach? They don't know where it was originally, but apparently someone was trying to brine their turkey in Salt Lake.
And lost it. That's very funny.
And lost it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross. Because there's like, okay. So the Great Salt Lake stinks because there's like a billion brine shrimp in there, like little tiny stupid shrimp that you can't eat, but just like they die a lot and stink up everything.
Sure.
Like, why would you do that? Why would you try to do that? Don't know. But yeah, this is the time of the year when people post videos on social media about people trying to deep fry their turkey and stuff exploding. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
Always good.
Hopefully some people have learnt from last year and are going to deep fry it outside and not just like in the garage or in the kitchen.
Right. But I've seen ones where people are outside and it goes, whoa, giant fireball.
Yeah, it's true. But better,
So better outside than in.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Totally agree. Yeah. Speaking of food, you sent me a video that explained that Australia got the burrito in 1997.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that is to be taken seriously, but I can I can believe that Australia did not have the burrito until who was it? El Paso started bringing the taco kits to market in supermarkets, probably being like, "This is a burrito. This is how you make a burrito." I can believe that.
Just astounds me because by 97 there's like insane amounts of trade between. Well, America, for one. But also, I don't know, I imagine, like, Mexico is probably trading with Australia on some level. Like, people, even if they're not officially being like, here's our food, like, somebody would have come to Australia from a country where burritos exist and, like, you don't have burritos? Let me start a burrito restaurant, right?
You'd think, but maybe they just didn't catch on. You know?
Yeah, maybe they tried and it failed. Yeah.
Because you got to remember, Mexico is not just to our south, right? Like, we get a lot less Mexican people here than you guys do, probably.
Yeah, and that's entirely fair. Like, yeah, part of the reason America has so much diverse food is that we've had tons of immigrants from all sorts of different places. Right, especially in our history. Tons of Italians, Chinese, Japanese, Irish, just all over the place, and all they brought their food with them, and so that's why there's a ton of different food here. But yeah, Australia's immigration is largely
Asian.
English
and Asian, yeah.
Asia. Yeah.
So we've got a ton of like Vietnamese or Thai places, tons of Middle Eastern places as well. And then we have English roots mostly, at least if you're of my complexion. So fish and chips and pies and all that stuff, also a good time here.
Totes.
Yeah.
I assume you have Italian at this point.
Yeah. I would say finding an actual Italian place, it can be a little tricky, beyond just like a place that does, we do Alfredo. How Italian is it? Yeah,
right.
You know.
Yeah, we can put tomato sauce on noodles.
Right.
Not that hard. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know how unauthentic it is either. Could be very.
Right. Could be entirely first, second generation Italian store.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
The pizza we have here, like the proper Italian pizza, not just like Domino's and stuff. What would we call it? We call it like not a classic pizza. There's like a term we use for it when it's like a fancy pizza that you might find in Naples or something. I can't remember the word for it because I don't get it. Because frankly, I just want a normal pizza. Yeah.
By normal, you mean the Americanized, bastardized
Oh,
version of pizza.
absolutely. I want a meat lovers. Yeah, with
Yeah.
stuffed crust. Yeah,
So
100%.
America's superpower, man, is taking food from other countries and turning it into the most unhealthy, delicious version of it you can possibly come up with.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, so today we're going to talk about the movie Donnie Darko. We're going to talk about the movie The Running Man, the new one.
Yep.
And then we have Void Stalker by Aaron Dembski-Bowden to talk about as well.
Did you also finish Grimgar of Ash and Fantasy, or Fantasy and Delusions, and its other various names?
I did not.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, Donnie Darko.
Sure. We can start with Donnie Darko.
I will. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
When did it come out? I just want a little background.
I think it was 1999. Because you were
2001.
like 2001. Because you were calling it the weird movies of the 90s, and then I pointed out it was 2001. Yeah.
Correct. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2001 film set in 1988, which I don't think I knew that. I think I'd gotten some information about Donnie Darko over the years, but I'd never heard anybody say it's set in the 80s. So when it's obviously in the 80s to start, I was like, oh, okay. Well, this is interesting. It's basically a period piece. Is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like going back to the Renaissance era or anything, but
right. I feel like a movie that is, setting itself maybe 10 years in the past, I don't think it quite gets the title of a period piece. Like, technically, it might meet the strict literal definitions, but if someone said, hey, do you want to watch a period piece? And then put on Donnie Darko, I might be mad.
Well, even today, you'd be like,
Well, here's the thing. If they made Donnie Darko today and still set it in 1989, then yeah, maybe I'd be okay with it. But it wasn't. It was made in 2001.
Right. I guess it was.
So I will start by saying I got the director's cut because that's what was available on YouTube.
Interesting. Okay.
And I got quite bored throughout the movie several times. And so one of the times I watched, I scrolled down to look at the comments, and the top one is, "This cut makes so much more sense." And,
Oh.
and then the very bottom one is, "This director's cut is shit. Where's the cinematic cut?" So I think I agree with both of these sentiments. This movie makes complete sense. I didn't have any trouble following it, really, and it is shit.
Okay.
I did not enjoy this movie. I thought it was pretty straightforward and just kind of boring.
Okay. Fair enough. So, but you only saw the director's cut. You didn't see the cinematic cut.
I did not see the cinematic cut, and I don't know what the differences are.
Now we have to figure out what the differences are. Director's cut. The director's cut. Let's see. Recut version of Richard Kelly's directorial debut. Critical success, but commercial failure when released in 2001. Good DVD sales. Good midnight screenings across the blah, blah, blah. He was given $290,000 to create what he called his interpretation of the original film. So deleted scenes that had been previously included as bonus features on the film's DVD were added, increased the runtime by 20 minutes. It's already 2 hours. Good grief.
You can see why I got bored.
I guess. So tell me, okay, changes. He superimposed pages from the fictional book, The Philosophy of Time Travel.
Yeah, so it was a bunch of pausing and reading a page. I was like, how did they do this in cinema?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't... I don't know. It wasn't very good.
Donnie's described as being the living receiver in this new universe, granted superpowers like strength, telekinesis, and premonition. His task is to return the jet engine called the Artifact to the primary universe to avert an apocalyptic disaster. Whoa, this totally changes things.
I don't think he's ever straightforwardly said, like, he's not given a quest by a grand old wizard to be like, oh, find the jet engine and put it back in its rightful spot. he's still just like a kid bumbling his way through 30 days, you know. He occasionally has
Okay.
hallucinations about like being able to see where people will go, um, and then being like, "Whoa, they did it! I must be seeing the future," or having a premonition, right?
Right.
Um, yeah. What did you think? Like, did it not make sense? And maybe I can be like, "Oh, there was a scene that did this."
No, I think it pretty much made sense.
Okay.
I mean, as far as the version that I saw was the theatrical release, the cinematic release,
Mm.
is Jake Gyllenhaal plays a kid named Donnie Darko. He's got emotional problems. He's probably a paranoid schizophrenic as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's in therapy. His therapist thinks that's what's going on with him. He sleepwalks.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, I lost you. You
Yeah.
mute?
No. Did I?
Okay. You had, yes. You're back now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You were saying, though?
No. Yeah. I was just agreeing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the. Yep. He sleepwalks.
Right. So he sleepwalks, and one of these times he sees a vision of a dude in a rabbit suit with kind of a scary, like, toothy face on it that says, "What's up, dude? The world's going to end in 28 days and this many hours and this many seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Bye." So then Donnie's like, huh, that's weird. And then the rabbit shows up at other times and is like, you should burn down this house. Or like, you should go. Are you muted again?
No.
Oh.
I
I
hadn't
like.
I hadn't said anything.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. Like, is the stream. Kind of
Um,
watching you on the stream. I need your camera back, I think, so I can see what you're doing. But
Says
maybe
I've
not.
dropped
Doesn't matter.
0.1 frames.
Okay.
So that's probably not it.
I'll allow it. Yeah. Uh, so anyway, he does some stuff. He floods the school. He burns down a house. The guy's house turns out house belongs to a person who's running some kind of kiddie porn ring out of it, which is an interesting little weird plot twist. Uh, and then it turns out that the name of the bunny, Frank, is actually a dude named Frank who lives in this town who has been making a bunny suit exactly like the one that Donnie Darko has been seeing in his weird visions.
Mm-hmm.
And dude wears it on Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
ends up driving into an altercation that Donnie Darko's having with some bullies, runs over his girlfriend and kills her, gets shot in the face by Donnie Darko,
Uh-huh.
and again, it's just like, so was he seeing the future? Was he
Okay.
seeing?
It's kind of implied at some point earlier that. Oh shit! Was it implied earlier, or did I just get bored and read the Wikipedia and figure this out? Um. Okay. Well, how about this? Did you, by the end of the film, have a solid opinion on whether or not he was seeing the future of this guy, or what was going on? Like, what did you get from it before I just say, like, well, here's what I took away, because it might just be what I read, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah. From everything that the version of the movie that I saw gave me, Frank was working on this Halloween costume leading up to Halloween, but hadn't like worn it around or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, it doesn't seem like Donnie Darko has a previous relationship with Frank, really, because because when the rabbit identifies himself as Frank, you think he'd be like, oh, like one of my friends, Frank. I know this guy. That's weird. That connection is never made.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't go like talk to him and be like, hey, like this
Mhm.
is, how you doing? And then he would see the costume and he'd be like, oh. So yeah, so it's some kind of a future thing, it feels like. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So Frank that he is seeing in the bunny suit is Frank from the future. He's a ghost after he died. Um, going back to be like, sup, Donnie. Here's some stuff.
Here's an axe, break the water main in your school.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, just for like chaos purposes.
Yeah, there doesn't really seem to be a strong like. Here's why he's doing it. It's just a thing that it does. As a ghost, it doesn't really have, from my perspective, any like rhyme or reason to it. It just does things because it can. Maybe it's tied to Donnie implicitly because Frank is Donnie's sister's boyfriend, and Donnie shot him in the face with a gun from nowhere. He just kind of like pulled a pistol out of nowhere and shot him.
The director's cut doesn't have where he got the gun.
No, no,
What the hell?
he just
No, because in the theatrical version, you were talking about how he's having these visions of like weird what is it? Like plasticky glassy looking worms coming out of people's chests and leading them places. It like represents their desire to do things.
Mm-hmm.
He follows his, it takes him to his parents' room and a shoebox in their closet and there's a gun in there.
Oh, okay.
How
Maybe I missed
That's-
that. Like, does that like right before he leaves to like with
No.
the friends on the bike trip to go find the Lady Death, or Granny Death, or whatever they call her?
I don't think it is. I think it's like 30, maybe 40 minutes before.
I probably just forgot about it then. Because the only other scene that I could remember that him shooting is it's like a rifle, and he's shooting at cans and stuff. But yeah, I was like, where did he get the pistol? I don't remember this.
Okay, that's really weird. In the director's cut, they would get rid of that because, yeah, I think it's important to know if your character shoots somebody, where'd they get the gun?
Again, incredibly bored. Might have been looking at the comments.
That's fair. I mean, he does say that he got in trouble with the law when he was younger and he can't drive until he's 21.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, where would he get a gun legally, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't get one legally.
No.
Anyway.
Most shootings don't.
Yeah. Lock up your guns, parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So I think the things I liked about the movie are I found it really interesting that they cast Jake Gyllenhaal and then cast his sister Maggie Gyllenhaal as his sister in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
She shows up at the first, and I'm like, is that? No, they did not cast his literal sister as his sister in this film because she didn't quite look like her at first. But then the more the movie went on, I was like, holy smokes, they did. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. No, I worked that up pretty quick.
Yeah. So I thought that was really funny. There's Drew Barrymore is in here as a random English teacher at the school that he goes to.
Yep.
And I was like, when did Drew Barrymore start doing like adult acting? Because she's the kid in E.T. She's a baby in E.T., right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm just curious about when she started doing roles where it's like, I'm not a kid anymore. I guess 2001 would be right around that time. I'm not saying it's the first time she plays like an adult, like a teacher or something like that, but it's pretty close, I have to imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you do look at this and go, wow, that's a young Drew Barrymore.
No, correct.
No, correct. Okay. Yeah, and I was like,
Wait, were you saying you don't say that?
no, I was saying you do say that. Like, I looked at this and go, wow, that's a really young Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. But again, compared to what she is in E.T., she is ancient because she's like 18 months old. Yeah.
But, I mean, if you look at that baby in E.T., do you go, oh, that's Drew Barrymore? That looks like Drew Barrymore? Really?
Yes.
Okay, because don't think I've ever sat through E.T. It's worse than Donnie Darko.
Right.
I could not guarantee that I would make that connection that, oh, that's this lady.
Yeah, that's fair. That is entirely fair. I did quibble with the fact that her hairstyle is very much not 1988. Her hairstyle is 2001. They were like, Drew Barrymore, play this character. She's like, okay, can I just do my regular hair? And they're like, sure. Like everybody else has got kind of like big hair going on and like a lot of blowouts happening. And it's like, no, you do not appear to be from 1988, Drew. I thought that was funny.
Well, she's a trendsetter. That's all.
Yeah. She got that hairstyle started. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Cellar door.
Celador. Yeah.
Cellar door.
Whether or not she was also, I don't know, maybe a ghost from 2001, giving Donnie hints about what he needed to do, to break into the old lady's house and stumble across a young Seth Rogen doing a B&E.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's a young Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I spotted him earlier than that.
Yeah, he's yeah. I went and looked up. I was like, "Is that Seth Rogen?" And I was like, "Yes." Here's the scene with him in class, and I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, that is him." Yeah,
Yeah, I did not realize that like a really young Seth Rogen is in this film in '01.
apparently it's
Gotta
his theatrical debut, and he's also
It is
not
his
credited.
debut.
Not credited.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He wasn't anyone
Well,
at
good.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he did well for himself after that. That's for sure. Good start. Yeah. I don't know. It's a quirky movie, right? Like the movie starts with Donnie Darko waking up on a road, like he's sleeping on a mountain road. Just like his bike's over on the side there. He's sleeping. He wakes up. He bikes home, and his parents are like, "Hey, welcome back, man. Where do you go at night?" Like they're just entirely unconcerned with the fact that their teenage son disappears at night and then sometimes appears in the morning. Who knows where he's been? They sure don't. 1980s parenting, everybody.
Yeah. It could just be that they know he sleepwalks, and it's not like we're not going to show any concern. It's like this is a thing that's been happening for a while now. And it's like we could freak out if you wanted, but what good is that going to do on the 12th time it's happened? This month.
I know, but like he's gonna get run over by a car. He was sleeping in the road. Like, this is not a safe thing that is happening.
They don't know where he was sleeping.
I know, but I'd worry about it. Like if you're actively sleepwalking, you are not all that cognizant of your surroundings. So yeah, walking into the street and getting hit by a car is an extremely likely thing to happen.
Sure. But what exactly are you going to do about it?
Lock the doors?
Climb out the window.
I guess. I mean, he's on the second story. You could lock his door to the outside, and his sleepwalking self would not be able to figure that out, I'm pretty sure.
He's also paranoid schizophrenic. If you say, hey, we're going to be locking your doors at night, and you can't get out, I imagine every time he's not trapped in that room, he's going to be very difficult to deal with.
He's already very difficult to deal with. I don't know if it'd make it worse.
It can always be worse. It can
always get worse. Dude, his mom walks into his room and is like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, fuck off and leave, bitch. It's like, oh, okay, this is going great for her.
And now you want to lock that door as well? I mean, it'd be lucky if he doesn't kick it down in the first night.
Yeah, I mean, he's burning down buildings and axing open water mains. Like, I don't know. There's an odds he's going to burn down the house anyway at some point.
Odds are, let's
even if he's free.
Let's raise them then. Let's raise those odds.
Yeah, let's make it more likely.
Yeah.
I liked the dad character because
yeah.
His mom's like, your son just called me a bitch, and he's like, you're not a bitch. You're bitching. I'm like, dude, you are not taking this thing seriously at all. And then when Donnie like cusses out a teacher and tells her to shove a book up her ass, they bring the parents in to talk to the principal, and they tell the parents what happened, and the dad cracks up. He's like, like trying to like rein it in. He's the worst. He's an absolutely terrible parent.
No,
and very entertained by what his son is doing these days.
He's not a terrible parent. He's standing up for his kid, being on his side when a dipshit teacher tries to teach a dipshit philosophy.
Except he's not, because his son is then banned from all after-school activities for 6 months anyway.
Wow.
Like, he gets the hammer thrown on him regardless.
It could have been 12 months. In the director's cut.
Yeah, maybe there's a scene where Dad totally stood up for his kid and we don't see it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens in the director's cut. Then he gives him like a high five on the way out of the room, and then I think it does actually cut to a scene where Maggie is talking to Frank on the phone and be like, yeah, my kid brother just told a teacher to shove a book up her ass, and then they went out and bought him all new stuff. and like everything in his room is brand new, but it was also they had to rebuild the room because a jet
Right.
fell on it. So how much of
Yeah.
that was reward versus necessity? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it really sounds like it was just his room was destroyed by a falling jet engine. I mean, we have
Yeah,
to get new stuff anyway.
you don't have to go out and buy him a brand new like stereo system though. Yeah.
I don't know. Did he have one before? Are we just replacing, or are we adding new stuff?
There's replacing necessities. Like, you gotta get him a bed and, like, a place to put clothes and a dresser and all that. You don't necessarily have to be like, well, we need a way to punish you for being a shit to your teachers. I guess we'll buy you the $300 stereo system,
Yeah.
in 80s money.
You think that was the FAA giving them money though
Ooh.
for repairs and stuff? Because that's another thing that's hilarious. This jet engine falls on a suburban home out of nowhere on a clear blue sky day. None of the airlines know what happened. None of them are missing a jet engine.
Mm-hmm.
The FFA is like, hey, so we need you not to talk about this because we don't know what happened and we don't want to create a scare. But like, nobody knows what happened. You're not blaming an airline for this. The FAA puts them in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
They take care of the jet engine, and I think they gave them money to rebuild the part of the house that was destroyed by the jet engine as well.
I'm wondering. I mean, not that it has any actual relevance to the movie, but does the FFA give you money if a plane crashes into your house? Like,
I mean, I assume insurance probably covers it, unless it's an act of God.
I mean,
Like, I imagine the insurance company would quibble because they'd be like, the airline should pay for this. And then the FAA is like, no airline is coming forward
right?
claiming responsibility for it. We didn't have any airplanes land anywhere missing an engine.
Mm-hmm.
So who's paying for it, right?
And we can provide flight data of all the planes in the surrounding area. None of them flew over your house in the time that
Yeah.
at all of this. Like,
Yeah.
it would be very easy for them to prove we don't know where this came from. As far as they're aware, someone
Act of
drove out
God.
the front and dropped it with a crane.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the airplane operator will carry liability insurance, is what I'm seeing online. But if you can't contact the operator because it's a mysterious jet engine,
Right.
no, I don't think the FFA gives you money.
Right.
But maybe in the movie it was. They did say we'll take care of everything and put him up in a hotel and all that stuff. So maybe the FFA just gave them money.
Right. That's what I imagine happened. They were like, look, man, we'll give you a bunch of cash if you shut up about this. We don't want you spreading this around. Because then Dad has a conversation with Donnie about, like, we can't talk about it. And Donnie's like, what do we talk about? We don't know anything. And he's like, yeah, weird, right?
Yeah, they have a good laugh about it, and then they nearly hit an old lady in the middle of the road. Yeah. Imagine
Yeah,
if she'd been
that's the dad.
sleeping, she'd be absolutely dead.
I know. She'd be totally run over.
Which, actually, there is a person who's laying down in the middle of the road later in this film and does die because she gets hit by a car. So,
Correct. Run right over.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about this. Some of the subplots I found were very interesting, like Drew Barrymore as a teacher just trying to teach interesting concepts to kids, and the principal's like, well, no, we want you to be more of a middle-of-the-road teacher. You can't be recommending these books. And the way that ties in with the crazy religious lady who's like, well, there's a flooding in the book, and then we had a flooding at our school. What's the coincidence,
Well, no, it's specifically the kids in the book break a water main in someone's house. The kids in English class are reading this, and then someone breaks a water main in the school, like, the next day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more than... Like, if I was her, I'd be like, I don't know, man. That's weird. Somebody got inspired, right?
No.
No?
I don't know. I feel like the sample size of 30, not even 30 kids, there's like 20 in that classroom. And like, that's how you start narrowing your suspects. Like, they happen to be reading the same book. Would you then also consider it probable cause to get like the local library records and see who checked out that book. And if like someone checked out that book at the same time, would that be like reasonable suspicion to give them a wiretap to figure out if they've
No,
been
because
planning stuff like this?
no, because it's the school, and the kids are at the school where the water main was broken.
Yeah, what? Okay, but here's the thing: if it's a book about breaking a water main in a house, why didn't one of the kids break a water main in a house?
Right. Why not?
Because the book, like, none of the kids did it because they read it in a book. That's why.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
You think Donnie did it because he read it in the book?
But Donnie didn't do it. Frank did it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because if you look at Frank's handwriting, he's the one who, like, they have the, I did it because they made me do it, and, like, the
Yeah.
police. Yeah, that's, if you go and look at the handwriting at the front with the statue, that's Frank's handwriting.
When do you see Frank's handwriting?
Oh, must be in the director's cut.
Must be.
Yeah, it's, like, near the end when you're, like, oh, no, yeah, okay, so, Donnie's at the house party, the Halloween party, and he goes to the fridge, and Frank's written a note being like, going for beer, Frank. That's Frank's handwriting.
That handwriting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So, because then later, Ghost Frank is like, burn down that house, and then Donnie does it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Or did Frank do it?
So they're just, well, I mean, we get a scene of Donnie splashing gasoline everywhere inside the house, but maybe it was Frank. Maybe that was a hallucination.
Maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe the house burning down is Donnie, but the water is Frank.
Maybe it's a tag team.
Yeah. Or
Like
maybe
wrestling.
maybe Donnie cracked the water mains, but Frank stuck it in the statue's head. It is also noted that the statue is made out of pure copper or whatever, pure bronze.
Bronze, I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and like driving an axe into it would be an act of superhuman strength.
Right.
And I don't think Donnie has superhuman strength. He has gun teleporting.
In the article I read about the director's cut, he has literally, it says superhuman strength.
Yeah, he doesn't really use it though. If he does,
Except to drive an axe into the head of a bronze
but
statue.
I don't think that was him. I think that was Frank. Frank might have superhuman strength because he's an undead rabbit, but
He's a ghost.
Yeah.
Can he affect the material realm as a ghost?
sure. Why not?
Okay.
It's his fantasy rules. If ghosts want to affect material realm, absolutely. So, did you enjoy the movie? Did you like? I found a lot of it to be just kind of tensionless.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's always tough when when the protagonist of a story is someone who has such a tenuous grasp on reality.
Mm-hmm.
It is tough to feel like anything you're seeing is real. Are there stakes here? I don't know, man. I understand what you're saying about that.
Hmm.
I don't know. I kind of found Gyllenhaal's performance interesting.
Mm.
Like he's always slouching. He's always kind of like got his head down and he's looking up at people with like a sullen expression on his face.
Uh-huh.
Always doing that stuff.
Yeah.
And like I just found the conversational writing to be interesting. Like when he's hanging out with his buddies and just like shooting a 22 or a BB gun at like bottles and stuff, and they're talking about the Smurfs.
Uh-huh. And he's like, the Smurfs are asexual. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, they have this whole like headcanon about the Smurfs
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and how Smurfette was created to like release the sexual tension of the Smurfs because like there are no women there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one dude's like, well, except for that guy because he's
Yeah.
gay. It's like, oh yeah, good point.
No. They're like, Smurfette was made by Papa Smurf for all the Smurfs because they were getting horny and
Yeah.
couldn't do anything. And they're like, but what about Papa Smurf? He wouldn't bang his own daughter. And then Jake Gyllenhaal has to be
No,
the man of reason and
Yeah.
be like, they're asexual. They're not real.
Yeah, he's like Smurfette was created by Gargamel to infiltrate Smurf society, but then the pure goodness of the Smurf society overcame her negative tendencies, and she joined them as a good person.
Right.
And they're like, "Why you gotta be smart, Donnie? Like, come on, man." I thought that was great.
I thought
that was a really funny thing.
I thought it was funny. I think if you cut it from the movie, it doesn't make the movie any better or worse. Like, it does nothing.
No.
Like chili mac and cheese at a Lakers game, it does not move the needle for where I'm doing my banking, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting with the therapist being like, you can just stop taking your pills. They're placebos. They're just sugar.
When did that? Nope, that was not in my movie.
Okay.
When was that? The beginning?
No, that's it. Like right at the end, the last scene he has with her, where he's like,
What the what?
yeah, his pills are not real. Schizophrenia pills. Yeah.
Because there's a scene at the beginning where they're at the breakfast or the dinner table eating pizza, and
Maggie's like, "You gonna tell Mom that you're not taking your pills?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see him taking his pills a bunch of times throughout the film. So
Right.
I'm like, he did not stop taking his pills.
Well, he makes an effort at that point to start taking them again.
Oh.
After he meets Frank, I think he's like, "Oh, okay, I need to really try."
But then it seems like every time he takes them, Frank's immediately there. It's like the timing is impeccable.
Right. because they do nothing.
Wow, that's weird, man. What a weird movie.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want to watch the sequel?
There's a sequel?
Stalker. Short for Samantha. It's a sequel based on the little daughter who wants to be a dancer.
Oh, really? Sam?
Yeah. And it gets the same actress to reprise her role. I think it's like 7 or 8 years later.
Elizabeth Berkley's in this movie. What the what?
Yeah.
The Reddit post says, anyone remember S. Darko, a shitty sequel to Donnie Darko? That's funny. It's got 2 stars out of 5 on IMDb.
Uh-huh. Yep.
What a weird idea to make a sequel to that film.
Apparently there's another sequel in the coming. In 2017, Kelly... who's Kelly? Richard Kelly, I assume, written and directed by.
Yeah.
Revealed that he had ideas for a new sequel that is much bigger and more ambitious than the original. In January 2021, he announced that an enormous amount of work had been done on the script. He was inspired to do so after a 2010 meeting with James Cameron, who found the film disturbing and had Kelly explained what happened to Donnie at the end of the film. So James Cameron didn't understand, got Richard Kelly to explain, and then was, I guess, inspired to do more.
Cameron was like, oh, cool, we should make more of this.
Yeah, Cameron suggested to Kelly that he continue working on the project, which made Kelly realize there was really something big, something epic that could be done.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, amazing.
Sure.
James Cameron, you dumbass. Yeah. So I guess the other thing I just want to say is just... so the end of the story is Donnie is not in his room when the jet engine falls on it because he is out sleepwalking at night.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of the film, he's shot his sister's boyfriend in the face. His girlfriend is dead.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty much in a terrible position.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's able to go back in time to the day the jet engine fell from the sky and crushed his room.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as far as I can tell, intentionally make sure he's in his bed this time. So when the jet engine falls, he dies.
So when when he wakes up on the golf course, the first time he meets Frank, he's got like a time and date scribbled on his arm. That him going back in time, I don't think it was like a conscious thing that he was like, now's the time to do that. It was, oh, this is the time in which that is, right? It's 9 days later. And like the time is just up. And the universe ending is this little pocket dimension that they've created which is all just a collective hallucination from everyone in the town.
Yeah.
And so Donnie was never sleepwalking, or at least if he was, he wasn't that night. And so he just dies in his sleep when the plane crashes.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
From my perspective, it did not feel like he was intentionally putting himself there. He kind of rolls
Yeah.
over in his sleep and goes, "Oh, weird dream," and then dies.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then you get scenes where his girlfriend, who he canonically never met, is like riding her
Yeah.
bike past his house and is like waving me like, "Huh, I kind of know you," to his mom, and her mom's like, "Hi." And
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, okay, they all kind of vaguely remember the bad dream that they all had. But
The collective dream.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Because I was like, if it's just a time travel thing, it just goes back and creates a different branching timeline where he doesn't exist for those 30 days. Then Gretchen never gets dragged into any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Frank doesn't die. Likely.
The pedophile gets to keep being a pedophile.
The pedophile doesn't get caught. I was like, that's the thing. Like, super rich, famous dude is out here interacting with kids, running a kiddie porn room in his house. Bad times. Like, he's directly interacting with Samantha Darko during that scene. And I'm like, because that happens. And then later it's like, child porn. And I'm like, holy shit. This guy should not be anywhere near kids. Yeah, so that's the one thing. Like, flooding the school, like, that's probably a net bad thing. His influence in Gretchen's life's probably not great either. So, yeah. So, him dying is probably a net positive on the town. No?
Okay, so let's break it down. He does get Gretchen killed, essentially.
Yep.
But let's assume that it's not really his fault. That it is the people who broke into the old lady's house threatening and beating them. That left her stranded on the road with a car coming.
Why is she at Granny Death's house? She's not there except for Donnie.
She doesn't have to be there. But also, she's only there because she went to the party. She was only at the party because her mum disappeared. And she went to the
Darkos because she was supposed to go to a safe place and she doesn't know Donnie. Then she doesn't go there.
Right, but where does she go? She doesn't go anywhere. She's at home with her mom, who is likely kidnapped and killed by her stepdad. Because that's what she says she fears. That, like, oh, it's my stepdad. He took her or something.
Yeah, totally.
So she's dead anyway.
Why?
Because her stepdad would have killed her if she was just at home. Like, for whatever...
She wasn't gone because of Donnie.
But, okay, let's say she's not. Where does she go afterwards?
She says, I arrived home, my mom was gone. I called the cops. They said, go somewhere safe. I came to you at your house.
Right, okay. So where does she go if she doesn't have Donnie?
Right. Maybe she makes a new friend. Because remember, Drew Barrymore's like, sit by the cutest boy in the class. She just picks someone else.
But...
I'm not saying she's guaranteed to live in this alternate 30-day time period, but I think she doesn't die that way.
Maybe. I feel like she has at least a friend. We never see her with anyone else, right? For those 30 days, I don't think her life sucks that much, right?
No.
And
I don't know.
We're also comparing it to, like, the letting loose of a pedophile who had a massive ring of porn and stuff. Like,
I know. I'm trying to weigh that versus, like, death.
Right.
Death of multiple people. That's tough.
I'm just saying, knowing Donnie isn't strictly the reason she dies. There are lots of reasons. I think it's a compounding factor that is largely revolving around Donnie, sure. But I don't think we can, like, well, if you just didn't know Donnie, you'd be fine, right? Like, I don't think that's fair.
I said I don't guarantee she'll be fine. I'm just saying she wouldn't die that way. She wouldn't be at Grandma Death's house on the ground getting run over by a car.
Hmm.
She could die some other way. Absolutely. Right?
She
That's
could.
the whole point.
She could. I just think like if you play that scenario out like 1,000 times, she dies in one of them. you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
if anything else had gone wrong
Yeah.
or gone differently, even.
Right. Right, right. Anywho, weird film for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it held my attention pretty well. I think around the hour and like 15-minute mark, I was kind of like, where are we with this? How much time is left?
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a banger. It's not like it got my attention the entire time, but it did a pretty good job for me anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Like there,
I thought it was just an interesting swerve where they're going to Granny Death's house to be like, "Hey, let's finally talk about this time travel thing. I've been reading your book. I'm obsessed about this. I'm afraid of what you're going to tell me,
mm-hmm,
but let's do it."
mm-hmm.
And then they go there and they don't even talk to her.
No.
Like they go inside, they get accosted by their fellow classmates who are probably there to rob Granny Death anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And they never have the conversation. And it never happens. Like it's an interesting plot swerve that I really didn't see coming. I thought they would have a conversation. That's all. I think maybe it's a better movie if they have a conversation, to be honest with you. But what ended up happening came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, I feel like it came out of nowhere as well, but it felt more random than planned. It's like, oh, Granny, the actress who played Granny Death died. How do we end this scene? It's like, oh, we'll just have someone rummaging through a house and threaten them. It didn't feel like a
Well,
cohesive ending. Like by the
it
time
was. It,
people are dead, Donnie's probably not interested in talking, and so you can cut the scene entirely at that point. But the impetus
yeah.
to have these guys rob her house on this specific night just feels too abstractly out of nowhere.
Well, his dad does tell him that Granny Death did make a ton of money and that people had gone to her house to try to rob her before. She's supposed to have like a ton of precious gems in there.
Hmm.
So that
Well,
they,
yeah.
I
But
mean, that is
that's
set up a little bit ahead of time.
it's information Donnie has. I don't know that Seth Rogen and other guy has. Like
Yeah.
it just again I
You think Donnie's dad is the only person who ever heard that story in town growing up?
no, probably not. It's
No,
just
probably not.
but again, it just feels too contrived that Donnie gets this information today, whereas his classmates might have gotten it years ago. But they all get it at the same time and have the same idea at the same night on Halloween. When, just to be clear, everyone is dressed up in costumes, but they go with like stockings over their head for disguises.
Yeah.
These guys are not smart.
No.
I feel like they got that idea at the same time as Donnie and then went with it that night, you know?
Yeah, I mean, not the same idea. Donnie's not going there to rob her.
No,
but
no, no, no.
The same
Yeah,
idea to go to the house on the same night, right?
yeah.
Right, right.
I think the movie has good scenes, just overall is kind of boring.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
That's my final word. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal. All right. Should we do some The Running Man?
The Running
talking?
Man. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I haven't seen the original. Have you seen the original?
No.
All right. Same concept though. So basically, we're in the far dystopian future. People are living in poverty. Obviously, they have these game shows on TV that you can put yourself on, and obviously, you're just going to be abused and maybe make out some money at the end. There's a competition called the Running Man where you get a little bit of cash, you get a head start. If you can survive for 30 days out there in the world, then you make like $1 billion. But also, everybody in the country knows who you are and is trying to catch you because if they find you, they get paid a ton of cash.
Mm-hmm.
And there are trained hunters and trained assassins who are also on your trail at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's just the odds are stacked against you, but the potential rewards are insane. So
Mm-hmm.
it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and the original Running Man.
Mm-hmm. And he's on the
From
money
what
of the new Running Man.
yeah, that's the callback to the old one. Is
Yeah.
that Arnold's face is on the
New dollar.
new dollars they
Yeah.
call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yep. So Glenn Powell stars in this one. He's got a wife and a sick kid, and he's trying to get work, but he can't because he's a good guy, and he's uh, trying
Blacklisted.
to organize a union, and he saves his coworkers when they're in trouble, and the company doesn't want him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's blacklisted from working, and his kid's super sick. And he tries to make some money by going to the network and trying to get on one of these shows where, like, one of them, you put a fat dude in a treadmill and have him answer trivia questions, make some money that way. There's a bunch of different options. So he's going to do those. But then they do aptitude testing, and they're like, you are in shape and you're really pissed off all the time. You'd be a good Running Man contestant.
Right.
Right. So he ends up on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the movie starts. It's pretty straight up. I do find it interesting that they made Glenn Powell's character so morally good. I just feel like somebody in his position would, especially once he's out there running, be willing to kill someone who's trying to kill him in order to stay alive and get back to see his wife and his kid.
Mm.
Because his catchphrase is like, "Are you going to be the person that stops me from getting home to my wife and kid?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, for example, when he's in the basement of the veterans housing place, he blows it up, killing a ton of like the soldiers and the hunters that are after him. But they very clearly make it an accident.
Uh-huh.
They're like, he lit some magazines just to see what was going on down there. He accidentally blew this thing up, escaped down a manhole, and killed all those people. But it wasn't on purpose. He wasn't trying to kill them. It's very important for the audience to know he was not trying to blow these people up. He's a good guy. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, why are we doing this in 2025?
So 2
Like,
minutes
why do we
before
need
that,
this level of morality?
two
Yeah,
2 minutes before that, he threw a grenade at a guy. I think he
he
is.
did.
I think he is willing. Um, he just tried to be like,
And
hey,
then,
he was willing to throw a grenade, and then when he was down there, it was like, oh, this place is going to blow. He wants to tell the hunters it's going to blow, so they leave and hopefully evacuate as much of the building before it does.
yeah.
I think he cares about the bystanders, not the hunters.
Well, and then he spares a dude later. He's got a guy dead to rights, one of the hunters, and he spares him.
He doesn't spare him because he's not willing to kill him. He spares him because killing him is what the network wants him to do. Like, he doesn't want to play into their hands more than he wants to kill him.
Hmm. Okay, so what I'm confusing for morality is actually not that at all.
Is it morality? Um, I don't know. I just feel like he is willing to kill because, like, he also kills everyone on the plane.
That's true.
And then later,
Well,
he goes back to at the end of the movie, his morality has clearly shifted because he's, like, breaking into the network studio and shooting Josh Brolin.
yeah, shooting Dan Killian.
Yep.
That's true. So, fair enough. There is more going on there with him. I don't know. So anyway, in general, I think the pacing was good. I had a fun time with it. Uh, there are a couple plot points where I'm like, But overall, I mean, I think if you're blowing stuff up and the pacing is good and there's some fun sequences, I don't really have too many complaints.
Yeah, no, not particularly. I think the movie's a little long, but like if you cut 20 minutes out of that, or mainly if Michael Cera's haunted house of traps and hot dog water,
His Home Alone.
yeah, his
Home
Home
Alone
Alone,
setup.
yeah, and his crazy grandma. Like, yeah, there's a lot there that you can just kind of cut.
Totally. I agree. Dude, that reminded me of Skyfall's Home Alone sequence. I had forgotten about Skyfall doing Home Alone and being so pissed off about it.
I
And
watched
then Michael
Skyfall the
Cera
other
does
day.
Home Alone, and I'm like, Skyfall.
Yeah.
Skyfall did Home Alone.
I watched Skyfall pretty recently.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, about 20 days ago, according to my spreadsheet. So it was
Oh,
it
wow.
was on the mind.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just anytime you're like, look at my shenanigans, killing people in a house. Oh, the stairs are slippery now. I'm like, I do not care. Like, this is funny when an 8-year-old is doing it, but it's not funny when a grown man is doing this. I'm sorry.
I really like the idea if they'd gone the other way with it, where he's like, need to get grandma into the safe room because I've booby trapped the house, and we're gonna kill a bunch of them as they try to break in, and I'm gonna get revenge for
For my
them
dad.
for my dad,
Good
and
cop dad. Yeah.
they come in, and sure enough, they're weapons free. They shoot Granny, and then he's like activating all the traps, and they don't work. Like they all bust because he's a loner recluse who's like spreading his philosophy in the local paper or whatever, and
Yeah.
he's not an electrician, you know.
Dude, I would love that.
That would have been really cool.
That would have been super great.
Yeah, but that's not what we get. So
It's not what we get. It totally works. He electrifies the floor and then uses a super soaker, off-brand super soaker to spray water on them so they electrocute. And I'm like,
they would have been electrocuted anyway.
yeah, that's how electricity works.
Maybe
I did laugh when he takes him upstairs and is like, why are we going upstairs? We need to go downstairs. And then there's a fireman pole in the bathroom. It's like, you took us upstairs so we could use a fireman pole to go downstairs again? I was like, that's so stupid. I thought it was funny.
yeah, it's funny. I think maybe the movie played for laughs a little too much in times like that, where it should have been more straightforward. Where if you have a fireman's pole in your house and the cops don't know you have a fireman's pole in your house, going upstairs so they think you're upstairs and then secretly being downstairs might be an interesting concept. But that's not how it plays. They immediately are like, oh, they're downstairs. Quick, get into the printing press room.
Right, that's true. Didn't even really help.
Yeah.
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 I did like the aspect of the film where the network had the ability to deep fake any video. Right? So a couple times they take videos that Glenn Powell has recorded where he's like trying to send some like revolutionary message to the people, and they're just like, no. And they deep fake it all out and have him just say crazy things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was really funny towards the end where he's talking to the network head and they say they're putting him onto the audience, and he's like, I'm gonna, revolution, viva la revolution. And he's like, oh, come on, man. And then they change it in like 10 seconds, and Glenn Powell's like, that was fast. That was fast.
Yeah.
It's a superpower. They're editing these videos real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. Like, we didn't need the character of the girl who's driving in the self-driving car, and then Glenn Powell hijacks her, and
again, we don't need
don't
that,
know.
but I really enjoyed that where she's like, I'm a a regular citizen. I'm like, I have rights and I'm a good person. I pay my taxes. I don't get supply blocked on 15. And then he's like, well, he accurately, describes everything about society that is wrong and how her feeling comfortable and safe and, in a relative position of wealth is an illusion maintained by having an underclass willing to do the running man, it's essentially the 2 times the movie ever actually touches on anything like remotely resembling a criticism about reality, which is her, and I guess the entire movie in itself is like, hey, media networks are like turning us against each other. But that's that's like the 2 times the movie tries to have a message and any kind of impact beyond explosions are cool, right?
right. Car chases are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
I enjoyed it, but again, most of the movie is explosions are cool, and if you cut it, I don't know that the movie's super worse. Um,
Right.
yeah, I was a little annoyed that they set up that he knows someone with C4 basically, and then later he
Yeah.
just pretends he has C4.
Right.
Not like it, so they Chekhov C4. We
Yep.
see the C4. The C4 does not get used. Okay, great.
Correct. Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
anti Chekhov C4.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But it
I don't know.
it just it makes
And
the
the one.
setup it just makes the setup that he knows it
Yeah.
exists feel kind of pointless. Like anyone could have pretended they have C4. He didn't necessarily
Right.
need like if he's used it in his work, great, you've set it up once. You do not need like a reminder by showing like, hey, he knows a guy who has a stack in his cupboard who just won't give him
Right.
any. Um,
I mean, that's the thing. They know he has close personal ties with someone who does have it,
mm.
as opposed to some rando who has no access to it at all.
Well,
Right.
but here's the thing: he in the conversation with the hunter, he doesn't even say, "Oh, I know a guy who had it." He says, "I've worked with it because it was in my job."
Right. Exactly.
So he doesn't even leverage that he might actually have some good knowing a guy. He just is like, I, I, I just had it at one point several years ago in a job that I used to have, but no longer have access to.
Right.
And of course, they can scan every inch of him anyway. And like, I think the bluff doesn't work on any level, and they're just like the network is just like, no, let him play it out.
Yeah.
Let
Putting
them
him on a
cook.
plane is better TV than the alternative.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I will say possibly my favorite scene where Michael Cera dies. He's like, "Get to the bunker. You could be safe there." And he gets there, and it's a housing development. Chopped the forest down.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. There you go.
I thought, yeah, that was good. He like crests this ridge and he's looking for this hill and it's a housing development that's under construction. He's like, oh. He goes into an already dug out basement and just like huddles there for a while.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I want to just say he's out there running and they're like, um, the hunters killed your wife and kid. Here's video of it. And I'm like, one, you know they can doctor video. They've done it to you 20 times already.
Hmm. Yeah.
Two, why wouldn't they have them, right? Like, why wouldn't they use them as leverage against Glenn Powell's revolutionary tendencies in the first place? They took them, they put them in a place so that the general public couldn't use them against him, right? They don't want that to be unfair, apparently.
Apparently.
But, like, once he escapes, I guess maybe they don't know he escapes. Because he's in the plane when it gets shot down.
Mm.
And then what's his face dude in Boston is like, but look at this footage. It looks like maybe an escape pod ejected out as it was blowing up.
Uh-huh.
So maybe that's it. Maybe they just don't see any purpose in holding his wife and kid anymore because they think he blew up on the plane. And he successfully is able to hide the fact that he survived. And he's just like underground,
Yeah.
still running effectively.
Yeah. I will say when he finds out that they've like killed his wife and child, he's like, there's a conversation there. It's like, well, I can't even believe if that's true. I've seen what you can do with
Yeah.
footage, and he goes, yeah, but does it matter if you believe it or not? Like, I put the idea there. Like if you don't believe it or you do, what are you gonna do? Because it might be true, it might not.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it kind of doesn't matter, but. I'm trying to think. Like they think he dies in the plane crash,
Yep.
and so they release. I guess if nothing else, these guys are lawful evil. Like he signed a contract that
Yeah.
says your wife will get X amount of money, and so they hold their end of the contract up. Like
Sounds like it.
these are warlocks in D&D.
Well, it's not. But it's out of a sense of if word gets out they're fucking over the families of Running Man contestants, then nobody does Running Man.
Right.
Right?
Who the family still keeps their changed name at the end. They're not gonna be like, Oh, and by the way, my husband was on Running Man. You know that guy on the news who said he took joy in killing kids and eating dogs for breakfast? Yeah, that was my
Yeah,
husband. Like,
I know, but that's that example. Yes, you're right. But in general, so you're saying for this particular example, if they don't pay out, then there's really no negative consequence.
I think if they don't pay out for any of them, there's rarely a negative consequence. They control all media in this world.
Yeah. There's still word of mouth, though. I still think if word gets out among the people that sign up for these shows that know your family actually doesn't get jack shit, they say they do, but no one ever does, then nobody signs the contract for Running Man.
Mm, I feel like the selection process that narrows down the three candidates does not select people based on whether or not they're good candidates. It's based on whether or not they're desperate enough and would give good TV. Like, they're looking for people who don't have big families. So that if you are kidnapping and killing families of winning Running Men, or like people who last a long time, you owe a bunch of money, you're killing a wife and a child. Or a husband. Not 16 generations of people and half of Boston. You know?
Hmm. I guess so.
I mean, they've even narrowed, for the selection process, they've narrowed it down to three archetypes that they play out the same way every time, apparently.
Yeah.
And to the point where the first guy who always dies is a guy who just doesn't believe that he's on the Running Man or that it's real and that, like, he's going to get caught and shot in the head in public and is, like, flirting with the barista at Starbucks.
Yeah.
These are the kind of people who sign up for Running Man, you know?
Yeah. Some of them.
Some of them. Or at least the people who are filtered into it, you know?
Hmm.
I feel like if word got out that, like, that guy's family didn't get any money, I don't think it would affect the people who go in for a spot on a TV show. They might not end up in the Running Man, but they might end up somewhere else on a treadmill or something, you know?
Yeah. Another show.
Yeah.
I did think it was kind of interesting that one of the main hunter
Mm.
says that he was a previous Running Man contestant who made it to day 29,
Mm-hmm.
and that they offered him basically a position in the system,
Mm-hmm.
kind of as a reward.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really go anywhere.
I think they don't they also imply that, like, the network killed his family, and
Yeah,
that were like,
that's what he says.
well, I took the deal though. So maybe his family is out there being like, oh no, my husband died on the Running Man, and then just became this masked. They don't know he's the masked hunter. Um,
Right. Hmm.
or maybe they
That's a
really,
spin-off movie.
really did kill his family. You know,
Right. He'll never know.
we'll never know.
No.
Well, I know I'm definitely going to go and watch the original.
Yeah, I think that'd be an interesting thing to do.
Mm. Yeah, let's do that.
Where is that streaming?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, good.
It's on Netflix apparently.
Looks like it's on my Netflix. Yeah. Oh no,
Oh,
it's not. Netflix is a liar. They're a liar.
filthy liars.
They are.
Prime Store, Apple TV, to rent or buy.
Hulu. I've got it on Hulu, it looks like.
Ah, the Hulu. Alrighty. Warhammer?
Warhammer. Let's
Warhammer.
go.
Let's get to the book. What did we read?
We read Void Stalker by Aaron Dembski-Bowden.
Hell yeah. Book 3 in the Night Lords trilogy. The epic conclusion to Talos' story, and Septimus and Octavia's story, really.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of just like disappear at the end of the book, and it's like, oh, okay, I kind of can piece together what happened based on
Right.
the prophecy we saw at the end of the last book and what we're told will
Right.
happen to them at the end of this book, and then just kind of assume it does.
Mm-hmm. Although, I mean, the prophecies are kind of losing their efficacy over time.
Are they though? Because
Yeah.
he at the we're jumping like right to the end when we
Uh-huh.
see Uzes try to kill Syrian, he's like, "Oh, my prophecy wasn't for Kryth at all. It's for here and now."
Right,
So
but the death of Zarl is just way off base, right?
yeah, true.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
again, it's not completely toast. It's just not 100% accurate.
no,
Right.
no,
So him seeing Octavia running from the Inquisition wearing Septimus's jacket isn't necessarily
anything.
entirely accurate, right?
Yeah, but we do get a bit where Talos is like, "You guys should flee, go to the nearest city, and like try to do
Yeah.
whatever. Just pray the Inquisition doesn't find you." And we're supposed to go, "Huh?" Because we know that they do. Um,
Right.
and then are in theory saved by a flayer, by the flayer, come for their unborn child to turn.
How saved?
Well, the Inquisition doesn't get them. If the Legion gets the kid, right? That's saved. Saved.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Prophecy's tough. I don't like it very much.
Well, thank God the book doesn't end with a ton of prophecy from the new
Yeah.
prophet.
Right? Tons of prophecy. I mean, can I just say it's hilarious that once again the Eldar are terrified of a prophecy coming to pass
And then,
and then put tons of effort towards stopping it and don't stop it.
yeah.
Like, they're amazing at this.
So that's a core thing about how prophecy just works in 40k. It's either super unreliable or you're going to accidentally bring it about by trying to stop it, right?
Right.
And
I'm just saying, the Eldar seem pretty smart. You think one of them one time would be like, guys, every other time we've tried stopping a prophecy, it doesn't work out for us very well. Maybe this time we just let it ride.
Well-
See what happens.
so by the end of the book, they don't know that the prophecies failed. They don't know that
not.
they've misinterpreted. They think they've like this is a success, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I know.
Would
and
do
then
again.
later, they're like, shit, it totally didn't work.
Yeah, it's later.
Yeah, I know.
But how many more?
The Eldar live forever. I'm sure for them it was 10 days later. They're like, man.
But in that time, they've done a ton of prophecies, being like, "Yes, we can totally handle this. We've got a history of totally handling it and being totally fine."
I see what you're saying. I'm just saying, over the course of the millennia that they're alive, you'd think somebody would figure out the pattern here.
You'd think, but
One time, I'm not saying I want an Eldar to be like, let's not try to stop it. I just want someone to speak up and be like, so, just so we're aware, about 45% of the time, this really backfires on us. And then they're like, we're doing it anyway. Fine. You can still do it. I just want someone to acknowledge that this doesn't work a
so
lot of the time.
I'm questioning how they know this one doesn't work. It's like, okay, they believe that there's going to be a prophet who will unite much of the Eighth Legion and strike back against them, which is a thing that happens, but they don't know intrinsically that it's being led by a guy named the Prophet, do they? Like, as far as they're aware, there's just some amount of Eighth Legion still attacking them because, like, fate was already, the River of Time was already flowing that way anyway. Like, how aware are they of the organization of the Eighth Legion?
Why would the prophecy talk about a prophet within the Eighth Legion the first time, but not the second time?
Who says there's a second prophecy?
Well, why wouldn't there be one?
Why would there be one?
If this is because it's a huge threat to the Eldar Empire.
Maybe.
The original prophecy wasn't talking about Talos. It It was talking about this other dude whose name I didn't recognize, and it seemed to be of great import, but it didn't ring any bells for me.
Oh, okay, because you can't count to 10 in Latin. Okay. So if Septimus is the 8th, and Octavia is the... if Septimus is the 7th, and Octavia is the 8th, and the previous slave was the 9th, Septimus and Octavia have a son they call Decimus the 10th.
Here, son, have our slave name.
Yeah,
Awesome stuff, guys.
let's honor...
And then he becomes a Night Lord? What the hell?
Or Varial, who kidnapped the child, gave him that name when he like indoctrinated him into the Legion, being like,
That makes a lot more sense to me. That is entirely what happened. Yes, that one.
I feel like at
That
the
one.
end of the book, Octavia and Septimus kind of like Talos a little bit. They're like, let's honor his
Talos?
memory and give him...
They don't want their son to be a Night Lord.
No, but they're like, let's continue on the tradition of names that we have and give our kid Decimus. Like, just to be clear, they're growing up in the Eastern Fringe. This is Ultramar country. They gotta give him something vaguely Roman sounding to fit in.
Nobody's gonna raise their eyebrows at that. No, I like Varial a lot better. Varial would totally take the kid, name him Decimus, force him to be a Night Lord, and then roll with it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the story is basically the end of the Talos lifeline entirely. He dies at the end.
Yeah, things have fallen apart for him a lot of the time. It's a lot of going back to... I can't remember the name of the planet. Night Lord planet.
Talarios.
Uh,
Something like that.
I'm gonna get the written version of this, and be like, well, I don't know how that's pronounced, even though I've listened to it.
I was gonna say, you sure did.
Salga to Sagua.
Yeah, Tasagua. That's the one.
To Sagua. To Sagulasa. No, I don't fucking know. The planet in which they made the like final stand, where Conrad Kurz gets killed by M-Shed. They go back there. It's a lot of Talos being like, we need to hurt the Imperium now. It's not about raiding for plunder to stay alive for the next week. It's, what can we do? This is where we taught them a lesson. We need to embody our philosophy again if we want to start winning. Let's go and clear this planet, or at least most of them. Let's get their astropaths and pull some psychic fuckery. Wield a navigator like a weapon with like holding her third eye open and point and kill. It's metal as fuck. It's dark and scary.
Crazy metal.
But that's kind of it. It's not a whole lot goes on in this book, I would say.
No.
We get
Talos's plan is to create a psychic residence in the warp of so much pain and suffering and fear and negative emotion that it like wrecks the communication paths and all the astropaths for like planets all around the general region of the galaxy.
Yeah.
And then the Imperium comes and kills them all.
That's generally the plan. They didn't
Sure, Talos, good talk.
They didn't plan to stick around for that. They were like, well, we believe that the Imperium will take months, if not years, to form a response. And in that time, we can let the Navigator heal and then get the hell out. Because when they're like, oh, there is something coming, we need to bounce. They don't just stick around and be like, I guess this is the Imperium coming to kill us. They're like, hey, let's get back to the Eye.
Yeah, okay, so they're just planting a flag.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey,
Planting a
8th Legion is still here, suckers.
Yeah. Planting a flag.
And look what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill a bunch of planets. You know.
Yeah.
And then bounce. Instead, they get penned in by the Eldari, forced back to Segualsa, is how it's pronounced. I remembered.
That's it. There you go.
And yeah, it's kind of like they end up running a bunch of battles. Malkarian saves a random human lady who managed to survive.
Yep.
The tiniest
Good for
glimmer
her.
of hope and light in the 8th Legion, saving random humans. Who would have thought?
Karian. Yeah.
How did you feel about Uzas's redemption and then murder?
Right? No, it's not.
Nope.
He's like, hang on a second. Yeah, I killed a bunch of crew, but I didn't kill everyone I was accused of killing. I have moral high ground now. And I was like, you do not. Sorry, Uzas. Absolutely no. He's super pissed about it, too.
I mean, how do you feel that it was actually Syrian who had gone around and done a lot of these killings and had pinned it on his brother? Did brotherhood mean nothing to this man?
No, it doesn't mean anything to any of these guys. They're Night Lords. They're not friends. There's no brotherhood.
I feel like there was brotherhood between a lot of them. I mean, mild brotherhood between Talos and everyone, not between anyone else and anyone else.
Yeah. No, I was just like, cry me a river, Uzas. Like, give me a friggin' break here. You can't be all super pissed about this.
I feel like
I felt a little bad when Talos killed him without, like, hearing his side of the story at all.
right because
I understood Talos in that moment. I was like, yeah, I get it.
I think Uzas also understood that Talos didn't know. Like he knew
Yeah.
that Talos had wrong information, and that's why he thanks him. But I do think it is kind of sad that like throughout this book we get Uzas's perspective on a lot of things, where he's not saying blood for the blood god, he's saying skulls for the 8th Legion, right? Like, and he very much looks at his corruption as, I'm not praying to Khorne, I'm taking warp power and using it as a strength in battle. This is something tons of people do, and I've been what's the word? He's been misfairly treated based on like his beliefs. What's the word for that? Or is that
Persecuted?
persecuted? Yes, he's been persecuted for that. When it's something all of them have done at one point or another, right? I feel like
Talos?
Talos sees the future. That has to be a warp gift, right?
Except it's very specifically not.
Well, except it very specifically is, because it's the warp and it's 40k and all the magic comes from the warp, right? Like,
It's from his gene seed. It's fine.
sure. And he gets it from his dad, and his dad gets it from his dad, and his dad gets it from the warp, right? Like, it's
Probably.
no, definitely, it's the Emperor. His granddad is the Emperor.
Anyway,
I'm just saying,
I don't know. I still think Khorne considers Uzas a very, very nice soldier of his. Honestly,
Sure, maybe. Like, I'm not saying Khorne isn't empowered by him. Khorne is empowered by the actions of all of them. But
yeah.
Uzas is the one who's trying to use the power without falling prey to it. You know?
I know.
Failing
But then
maybe.
maybe stop screaming about blood for the blood god all the fucking time, Uzas, and
Right.
then maybe people would treat you differently.
But here's the thing. He's screaming about blood for the blood gold while Syrian is the one pinning hundreds of murders on him.
Yeah,
Argu-
optics matter. Turns out,
Optics matter.
PR is a thing.
I'm just saying, I felt like Uzas had a little redemption here. That he was not the worst Night Lord of the pack.
Sure,
I feel
but I understood why he was treated like shit. He was not treated unfairly. When
He was treated
someone
unfairly.
has to be blamed for a mass murder within your crew all the time, the one that cannot control himself constantly and is screaming about blood for the blood god is the obvious choice.
But that's the thing. He could control himself because he didn't do those kills. He's just doing some screaming.
He did a bunch of them.
But they all did a bunch of them. Talos would go down and hunt the crew on the very lowest decks of the ships.
Yeah.
So
I know.
there was an acceptable level of crew murder.
Well, okay, that's a question. Was Uzas killing important people?
No,
Was that ever determined?
Yeah, it was that the people who it was a problem that he was like he has that line where it's like, I would come out of a haze being chastised by my brothers for killing an important member of the crew, like an important slave, that I had no memory of killing. It was always Syrian who did it.
So Uzas, in his haze,
Yeah.
was very intentionally going below the waterline to do his blood for the blood glad murders of people that no one cares about.
Yeah, maybe. Apparently.
Maybe.
I mean, look,
What's that maybe?
if there was 100 important crew deaths and they cared that 99 of them were Uzas, I think one of them was Uzas, right? I feel like they all did it at one point or another. Like, Septimus is a very valuable slave. Talos nearly kills him for banging Octavia, you know?
Right. True facts.
But nobody's going to complain, you know? It's like,
Nope.
you can kill an
Not a
important
person.
slave when it's Talos. Fucking hypocrites. I'm just saying, I feel like Uzas, one of the good guys, a real homie. He was looking at what Lucoriphus was and being like, I'm not that bad, right, guys? And they were all like, no, you yell a lot. That's really bad.
You're constantly licking your teeth over Vox. Stop doing that.
It's fair. That would get real annoying real quick.
I think so, yeah.
Uh,
So anyway, all the Night Lords die for the most part, except for Variel, probably, and...
nope, Variel's there. He's at the end. He's with Decimus. Yeah. Still can't make eye contact. Poor autism Marine.
Super autism Marine.
Oh,
yeah.
we didn't mention this. Well, I didn't bring it up. But the Red Corsairs, they're mentioned as being a heretic chapter, but they went by a different name when they were a loyalist. And I think it gets mentioned in the book, but they're the Astral Claws.
Okay.
And they're in the Badab War. They were like... The Luft Huron was used to be called the Tyrant of Badab. They tried to, like, succeed from the Imperium to be like...
Oh.
Kind of. They wanted more resources to do a thing, and the Imperium was like, no, you guys, you play defense, not offense. And they were like, well, you know, let's have a little civil war. Let's figure it out. But anyway, they all flee. But they're Ultramarines. They're from Ultramarine stock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Traitor Ultramarine.
Traitor Ultramarine. So Variel is a Traitor Ultramarine cosplaying as a Night Lord. Just
wow. What a guy.
I thought that was fun, and I thought it might be like the first time you've gotten like Traitor Ultramarines.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like of all the Chaos Legions to like go hang out with as a Traitor Ultramarine, Night Lords is an interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly.
Yeah. He just loves flaying people. He's like spiritually vibing with them, you know? They're on the same wavelength,
Yeah, that's
man.
what it is. Hey, can I step away for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, vamp for a bit.
Vamp for a bit. How long's a bit? How long do we think a bit is? How long will this bit go on? Well, this is already a bit longer than I would like. Do you want to place bets on where he is? Do you think he just needed to poop real bad? Just like, really gotta go and squeeze one out right now, and you just can't hold it. We did say last week that 3-hour long movies, he has to go to the bathroom, and we're getting out to like an hour and 40 minutes. And he was streaming for like several hours before the podcast. So it might just be time. Falcon needs to go to the bathroom. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to Night Lords Omnibus. Because Falcon read the omnibus, but I got the audiobooks. And the audiobooks, they don't like to do an omnibus because they're trying to gouge money out of me. Who knows? But that came with short stories. Falcon would have read The Core. I doubt we'll touch on it a lot. So I read a bit of the synopsis. So I might just fill you guys in. There's a part in this book where they're going to be like, hey, suddenly we have some spare suits of Terminator armor that came from the Salamanders chapter. Here's how we got them. They fought some Salamanders and some Gene Stealers. Ta-da! That's it. That's what the quote's about. That's kind of it. The synopsis on the Lexicanum is huge. It's like 3 pages long. It's basically the entire book. Actually, I can show you guys. What am I doing? This is it. Like, synopsis. It's so much. It's like half the book. The Echo of Detonation and a Space Hulk containing a Mechanicus Titan vessel and the Protean, a Salamander's strike cruiser. So, Space Hulks always have Gene Stealers. It's kind of just the way of it. So, I don't know if it's any good, but yeah. If you end up reading Void Stalker and you're like, hey, where'd they get those suits of Terminator armor that is suspiciously Salamander? Now you know. The more you know. Man, it's hot in here. I'm getting a drink. Hey, welcome back.
How was the vamping?
Good. I explained briefly the short story that you would have read before this called The Core, which is fighting some salamanders and some gene stealers, and like that's where the suits of Terminator came from in Void Stalker.
Right. Yep, sure did.
Yep. I also questioned whether or not you just had to run to the bathroom because it's it's been about time,
Indeed it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting short story. I like the idea of being like, there are gene stealers on this Hulk, and there are salamanders on this Hulk. Let's let them kill each other for a while. Yes.
Yep.
That was the smart thing to do.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
heaven forbid the Night Lords take a straight fight, right?
Never once. It is nice how open they are about it.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, man, we don't do straight up fights. We sneak. We come at you from behind. We stab you in the back.
Yeah. We lose
We
straight
will
on fights.
blow up a moon to try to kill you.
Oh, man, that was cool.
That was cool.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Book has lots of cool
So, I
moments. What are you?
Yeah.
Any questions?
But overall, just like Talos, right? He starts talking about how he wants the battles he fights to mean something more than they do. He wants to have some grand ideal he's fighting for. He wants to have it matter more than just scrapping, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he does his great play, murders 10,000 people, uses their deaths and fear to
Send a message.
Yeah. And then he dies.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's almost like he's doing what his father did.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's entirely what it is. He's like, I believed in the Night Haunter and what the Legion should be, and I'm gonna do the same. Like, if I need to give my life meaning to send a message and then die for it, because what is death compared to vindication? Then so be it. Like, at the very end, not even at the very end, so like the middle-ish of this book, he's chatting with Varial about how the Night Haunter hated his own Legion, and he's like, I am no longer blind to what this Legion is. They're murderers and rapists, and if they're down there flaying people for the fun of it, not for the ideals, but at least they're following me, I will use that. Which is very much how Conrad Kurz saw his Legion.
Yeah, I mean, Tello specifically said, too, what he hated was what he had turned into, what he had become.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know that Kurz ever felt that way.
Yeah, maybe not, but we do know that Talos wanted to be a hero.
Yeah.
And instead now he saves like a handful of people, but flays more than he saves, And I think that's what he's hating, what he became.
Yeah, that's fair.
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 Yeah.
Well, all right. Yet another story about a special boy within their chapter, within their legion.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's dead.
Now he's dead. But his gene seed, now stabilized, lives on to give Decimus perfect foresight.
Yeah, which seems crazy overpowered, but hey, we'll see.
It does. I don't think that character has come up in any other book since.
Yeah, because how do you write for a character like that?
You don't. You just
don't.
you just don't.
Because if somebody has perfect foresight, then guess what? Chaos probably wins the Long War, and the Imperium probably dies.
Yeah.
Like, you can't compete against that. How are you supposed to compete against that?
Well, it's an excellent point. I mean,
It's
yeah.
bad writing, is what it is.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's bad in this book where it's like, okay, in theory, Chaos have like a perfect foresight guy. I don't think it's bad to say like, here's how that happens. They've got that, and then just to never mention it because his vision is maybe so like limited. It's like it's perfect foresight, but he's like using it to see how his friends die, not like how do we win the battlefield or win the entire long war. You know?
Yeah, in the 4 pages he exists,
Right.
he uses it to see how his friends are going to die.
Right.
Correct.
I think not even his friends. They're other Night Lords. Let's be real.
Right.
But I think it's fine in this book, and that it's fine in the world to exist as long as you don't make him a main character. That would be bad writing. It would be very hard to do that. That would be bad writing. I think.
Yes.
As an end, I find it really enjoyable to be like, oh crap, Decimus is out there doing stuff. You know, he's got like Malkarian's bolter and a reforged sword of Talos. You know, there's this. Chaos needs to have some cool warlords. TLDR. You know.
Okay, fine.
Heaven forbid. I like halfway through that I realized what my point was, and it's Chaos needs cool warlords other than like Abaddon. You know.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yep. There you go. I'll allow it.
Absolutely nothing
need
wrong
it.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, wheel.
Wheel.
We are onto the wheel. My God, it's been so long. It's been 3 whole
Has
weeks.
been.
Look at them all evenly weighted.
I know.
Like the
Kinda
wheel was
weird to
supposed
see
to
it
be.
this way.
Yeah. Is
Is
there
wrong?
anything on here you particularly want to read? And I'll weight that heavily.
I don't understand half of your acronyms as part of the problem. So
Oh,
orcs. Orcs sounds fun.
Orcs. IG is Imperial Guard. TOE is Talons of the Emperor. SM is Space Marines.
Space Marines is a broad category.
Yes, but you know what? It's different than CSM, which is Chaos Space Marines. SOB is Sisters of Battle. Eldar is just Eldar.
Yeah, got that one. I don't know. Probably orcs. I'd probably say orcs. Orcs
Probably.
are fun. They're always fun.
Well, let's see if we get it.
Okay.
Whoa.
Imperial Guard.
Yeah. Outgunned. A Lucille von Schad audiobook. Obviously, I think I'm going to be mad if we look it up and you can't get the... it's just an audiobook. But that's where I grabbed the picture.
Okay.
So, Outgunned by Denny Flowers. Denny Flowers.
Outgunda or outgun?
Outgunned. ED.
Outgunned. Past
Yeah.
tense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Kindle version.
Cool. So this is I put it as Imperial Guard, but it's technically a Aeronautica book. So this is about people flying planes.
We had a little tiny bit of this in the Heresy. There were a couple scenes, I think, on Terra. Maybe it wasn't on Terra.
Nope,
Somewhere though, we got this.
There was some of this
It
on
was.
Terra. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. It was.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah. I figure as someone who enjoys like TIE fighters and X-Wings and all that, this might scratch that itch a little bit.
Yeah.
It might a little bit, but the book is actually from the perspective of Kyle Simlax, who is an Imperial propagandist. So he's there to make a propaganda movie about the ace pilots.
Yeah, oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yep. So it's good. I thoroughly enjoyed this upcoming book. So
Are they fighting orcs too?
They're fighting
Nice.
orcs.
Hey, I got my orcs.
You got
kind
your
of.
orcs, yeah.
I can get the paperback version of this book for $500.
Uh-huh. So
What the?
so actually I was watching a video of a YouTuber doing like an unboxing. Someone had sent them a bunch of books, and they're pulling out like, oh, here's a paperback version, like a hardback version of all these books. And one of them mentioned that all of the hardback version books for Warhammer are very expensive, and that's a feature, not a bug, because Black Library is first and foremost a digital publisher, and so all their books are like $10 on a Kindle, and then they do a very limited run of only like special edition hardbacks, and maybe you get a second version with like a very fancy if you get like an omnibus or whatever. And so there's only a couple thousand of these books, and they don't print them for very long. And
This is a paperback. This isn't hardback. It's paperback.
same difference for them, for these books. Like they do very limited runs because the goal is to make them cheap on Kindle, not physical print.
Not sell physical books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that ends up making all the books super duper expensive. Yeah. But hey, you're not buying a paperback. So.
Definitely not doing that. That's crazy.
Yeah. What is going on with your green screen capture? It's like a smudge. Oh, it must be where your shoulder is through the crystal.
Must be.
Yeah.
Not a great background.
It's fine. It's about as riveting as most Brood War. All right, let's wrap it up. It's hot.
Let's wrap it up. Sounds good. All right. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out for another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour, streamed live at twitch.tv/Somicron. You can join us live here every single week. You can also support the podcast in different ways, like subbing to the Twitch channel. And you can gift subs and throw bits as well. You can support the channel on Patreon at patreon.com/Somicron. You can also watch the VODs at youtube.com/@Somicron and buy merch at falconpaladin.store. So thanks everyone who does those things. Much appreciated all the way around. And we'll be back next week. Having maybe watched the original Running Man. I guess we'll do that.
Maybe.
And I'll finish off Fantasy of Grimgar and Ash. Or whatever that name is.
Grimgar of Illusions and Ash, or Fantasy and Smoke, Casino Royale. Who knows?
Yeah, I said that with such confidence too. So good stuff.
You got it wrong. Guarantee that.
That's what it should be. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out.